Tashdile. Hello, Senagida. Tashdile. Today may be a painful reminder of our past and present existence, but it reminds us of when ordinary Tibetans took power in their own hands and asserted their right to their country and rose up collectively against the Chinese government's illegal occupation. With arms locked, our ancestors peacefully stood tall, clergies, men, women, and people from all classes and regions, united to fearlessly form a human chain to protect the precious one, and while calling for Tibet's independence till their last dying breath. The Chinese army responded with extreme measures, shooting them for days. Countless Tibetans were killed in the massacre. Lhasa was filled with blood. Lhasa was filled with blood, but not a single Tibetan that died that day, that sacrificed that life, pinned their hope on the United Nations, nor America, nor were they waiting for governments of the world to come and help them and bail them out. They believed in themselves. They stood together, united as Tibetans, giving strength, finding power with each other. That's why today is also a day of unity. Unity filled with courage, of iron will, and truth tested in fire. I'd like to thank Tank, Barefoot, San Francisco Regional Tibetan Youth Congress, Students for Free Tibet West, past officials, elders, supporters, and sisters and brothers from Tibet. Today, March 10 is synonymous with Tibet's independence. It is sacred not only to the memory of those who selflessly sacrificed their lives outside Nabalinka, but for the sanctity of truth and the moral principles of what our struggle represents. Today also reminds us of a day, of a time when our history, when we were living in our own land as free people, speaking our own language, worshipping in our temples, enjoying the mountaintops, and peacefully living the ancient life under the sovereign rule of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the Gande Phoda government. For 56 years, even after decades of brutal and carefully orchestrated mind-muddling patriotic re-education policies, Tibetans in Tibet still continue to demand that life back, to once again reclaim their history and their steadfast will to be free again. They still manage to defy, resist, and audaciously continue to fight for their birthright. They still manage to struggle for the Tibetan nation. And the Tibetan nation's struggle today is stronger than ever before and will continue to remain so until the fight for truth and justice is achieved. Until now, 143 Tibetans from all stations of life have self-immolated for Tibet, young and old, men and women, clergies and lay people, while families, husbands, wives, children, and parents are left behind with burning holes in their hearts. This is not an easy, convenient fact that happened in bygone periods. This is one that is happening right in front of us. The last self-immolation was 3 days ago. We stand as real-time witnesses to these selfless sacrifices, unprecedented in Tibet's history, unheard and unknown in any human history. These self-immolations implore us, question us, as it should anyone with any conscience, especially Tibetans living in Tibet in exile, to deeply reflect on the extent of their sacrifice and their bravery. Sisters and brothers, each one of us has an eternal responsibility to not let a single martyr's sacrifice go in vain, and an unwavering duty to carry their voices forward. It is time for us to reflect on the profound nature of their sacrifices and put all our petty differences aside, put our arguments aside, and work together in unity to end the suffering of our people in this critical time. Today, let's commit to continue our fight for the Tibetan people's right to self-determination and the preservation of our identity, our culture, our religion, our language, and our history. Let's stop airbrushing history to fit our own personal agendas. Let's reassert our rights to a secure and a sustainable future in our own country, free from oppression of a foreign colonial power. A free life under the leadership of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, who remains as the undying hope and strength for all Tibetans. He is a beacon of hope, especially for Tibetans living in Tibet. With folded hands, our hearts heavy with sadness, with remembrance of this day for all our martyrs, let's pledge to carry the burning butter lamps until the very end of our dark times. I repeat the final words of the self-immolator Pamo Sangye Doma, a 16-year-old nun. I quote, "Beloved children of the snow lion, sons and daughters of the land of snow, warriors of the snow mountain, do not forget you are Tibetan. Let us not forget we are children of the snow lion. Let us not forget we are warriors. Let us not forget we are Tibetans." Sisters and brothers, let's join hands as Tibetans to honor this day, to recommit ourselves with a renewed sense of responsibility to continue to fight for injustice until Tibet is once again a free and independent nation where His Holiness the Dalai Lama sits on the golden throne on the Potala Palace inside a free Tibet, reunited with his people. Together we will prevail because truth and history are on our side. We will prevail because eventually there is justice in this world. We will prevail because 1 million of our martyrs believed we can. We will prevail because what we started on March 10, 1959 has not yet ended. We will prevail because we must prevail, and we will continue this revolution till Tibet is a free and independent country. Long show, Tsangla Sangye long show, long show, long show, Tsangla Sangye long show. Pregalo, pregalo, free Tibet, free Tibet, free Tibet, free Tibet, free Tibet.